Hello everybody and welcome back for some VR First Impressions, where we try and find out what new VR games are worth playing. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. I was pleasantly surprised with just about everything I tried out this week, and there are of course links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead at any time, but let's start things off with a game that really impressed me. The classic Metrovanian PCVR title Witchblood has been remastered for the Quest and now features an excellent mixed reality mode. Now I never played the original 2017 title, and we rarely ever see this genre in VR, so I was definitely intrigued, but not expecting much. Well, I'm happy to report I was wrong about this one. The mixed reality feature is cool and all, and lets you play around with scale, but more importantly, this is just a really fun game. I turned it on just to see what it's all about, and next thing I knew, my Quest battery was almost dead. The game has a roughly 6+ hour campaign, inspired by older titles like Castlevania, and in this case they absolutely nailed it. There's a nice little storyline, you freely navigate this world that has plenty of hidden rooms, and you get to unlock more and more powers as time goes on. I'm definitely going to be playing through the rest of this game. It's nice to have a chill, different experience that I could sit back and kind of enjoy, where I'm not jumping around like a maniac and breaking a sweat. I know I really prefer the more immersive VR, but this is really solid. And there's a really nice touch because it is three-dimensional. Even though you have this side-scrolling game, you can physically put your head in, look at the creatures up close, get a much better look at the background, and when you're killing enemies, some things will like shoot out towards you or enemies will fly by your face. So it's just done really well. I was definitely impressed. Solid title. Now next up, I tried a game that's been on my list for a while, and that's the demo for Tomb Explorer VR. This is your classic Indiana Jones style adventure. Now this game was a little bit of a hit and miss for me. Now some aspects are really great, but it does show some indie roots. Graphically, it's really impressive. You get into game and you're like, wow. I kept, humming the Indiana Jones song to myself, because that's what it really felt like. It had me inspired, and overall feels pretty good. The voice acting can use a little work. I felt like the controls were also lacking a tiny bit too, but overall, I was impressed with what they made. On the other hand, there's a ton of climbing, and I just didn't like the way it feels. Climbing is extremely common and probably overdone in VR, but I've never fallen in a game so many times before. Since this is a major mechanic, it should be refined a little bit. It doesn't seem like the climbing's meant to be an actual challenge, and it's just little things like lack of audio cues to let you know you're actually gripped on. Now additionally, an adventure title like this isn't exactly my style. I find it to be a little slow, but I know people love these type of games, and there's a ton of potential here. I want to see how it evolves from the demo right now to its full release. Maybe they just refine a few elements, and I think they could have a solid game that people are going to enjoy. Just, maybe not my style, probably something I won't fully play through unless you guys really want to see me play and do a robust, deep dive of this game. Now, next up, we have a unique story-driven first-person shooter / tower defense style game. Now, Wisdom Watcher definitely took a little while for me to get into. At first, I was thinking there's no potential here, but it definitely grew on me over time. Now, you're introduced immediately to this robotic character called Loop, and he's basically a wannabe Claptrap, except he's not funny or clever, and he's telling you a story, and it's just a little slow. It's drawn out a little bit too much. You want to get into the action. And then once you see what the action actually is, it turns out this is pretty much a tower defense title, first-person shooter tower defense title, something like Orcs Must Die. You're going to get traps over time, you're going to be fighting lots of enemies, you have 2 guns, a sword, you'll gain different power-ups, stuff like that. The storyline itself is actually pretty cool, but I'm not sold on the delivery just yet. It's like, you go over to a picture, and then Loop rambles on for a minute. However, the gameplay was solid, so there is potential here. Now, this game has been in early access on Steam for over a year now, and I'm currently playing the early access Quest version. It does need a bit more refinement, however, it's looking pretty good. Now, tower defense titles definitely aren't for everyone, but I definitely like what they're doing here. As it stands, I'd like to see a little bit more refinement. Some things didn't feel perfect. The intro drags on a bit, so they need a better way to deliver the storyline. But otherwise, I was definitely intrigued here, and I am one of the people who enjoys the gameplay loop of a tower defense title. So I'll keep an eye out on this game and see how it develops. And last up, we have a cute little mixed reality title called Rescue the Holes. Now, this is once again an App Lab title that is still in development, and like most mixed reality experiences, it is casual. But I went into it thinking, there's going to be a throwaway game, nothing fun, and I was once again wrong. So pleasantly surprised because the gameplay is fun here. Yes, it's casual, Yes, most people won't be interested into this, but when I got into it and started playing around, after about 5-10 minutes, I started to get hooked. You know, it's that type of mini game experience or phone app experience where, you know, you just want to keep playing, and the more you fail, the more you kind of just dive deeper into it and try harder and harder. And before I knew it, like 45 minutes went by, and then I started to look around and I was like, wow, there's a ton of different levels here. There's also a lot of mechanics that will open up over time, like you have to hit switches, there's traps, the amount of curves and turns you need to go through are just, you know, crazy. Found myself kind of doing circles around the room. So ultimately, it's a solid experience, and if you're into casual games, you would definitely like this. Now, I know my audience and me personally, we like the bigger, more robust games. I'm always looking for a deep RPG I could sink my teeth into, but if you do enjoy that casual minigame type of experience, this one is definitely solid. And I would even go as far as saying this could be a fun introduction to mixed reality for the average person. But you can of course go ahead and disagree with me down in the comments. Now that was today's video. Once again guys, if there's anything you want me to cover that comes out or it's an older title and I missed, let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And as always, I'll see you guys on next time.